Hey guys, welcome to your Chapter 8, Lesson 6 notes, which is more factoring. We're going to factor more trinomials, but this time they're going to have an A out in front. So last time when we factored, we said, all right, well, we need to find two numbers that add to B and multiply to C. And that's cool, and that worked great, and our lives were so simple back then. Remember, that was so long ago, it was yesterday. Felt like it was just yesterday. Now we're going to add in a whole new character to our game. This character is A. Okay, now here's where it gets a little tricky. We also need to look at factors of A. So we're going to look at numbers that multiply to A, numbers that multiply to C, and figure out how can we combine all of them to add up to B. And honestly, you guys, this is why I teach you the box thing, because the box is going to come in handy hardcore. So in essence, we're going to figure out, okay, what are two numbers that we can fill in? So we have something x plus something times something else x plus something. That's what our answer is always going to be. And honestly, it's just like trial and error. Sorry. Oops, wrong color. I'm sorry it has to be that way, but that's really just kind of what we do. So yeah. So in this one, our A would be 6, our B is 23, and our C is 7. So we're going to start out by listing factors of 6. So factors of 6 are 1 and 6, 2 and 3. And factors of 7 are really nice because it's just 1 and 7, you can't do much from there. Sweet. So now we need to figure out how can we rearrange these numbers to fill in our gaps right here. We're going to want to put factors of A, our factors of 6, up front, and our factors of B at the end. So the question here is, do we do x plus 1 times 6x plus 7, where we've got factors of 6 here and factors of 7 there? Or do we do 2x plus 1 times 3x plus 7? Is that the one that's going to work? And the way you check it is by foiling it out. Turns out that neither one of these is the correct answer, because what you need to do is you need to switch your 1 with your 7. And that's what's going to get you to your original trinomial. We check it by going, all right, that's 6x squared plus x plus, did I do something wrong? Yes, I did, because it needs to be 2 and 3, not, oof. This is why we check our work. Okay, it needs to be 2x plus 7, 3x plus 1. This is why we check our work, you guys. Okay, anyway. So this gives us 6x squared, sorry, plus 2x plus 21x plus 7, which is 6x squared plus 23x plus 7. Oh, that's not our answer, though, because our answer is the factors. That's it. So we had to list out factors of A, we had to list out factors of C, and then figure out, okay, how can we combine them so that they add to B? And that's it. And I gave you way too many examples here on your notes, so I'm just going to pick a couple of them, and we're going to leave them blank. So we already saw what happened when both of our numbers are positive. What happens if we've got some negativity in our lives right here? Oh, let's do the 1031 one. That's my birthday. Okay. I'm going to start out by listing factors of A and factors of C. So the factors of 10 are 1 and 10, 2 and 5. The factors of negative 14 are negative 1 and 14, negative 2 and 7, negative 7 and 2, negative 14 and 1. And now we need to figure out how can we combine all of these. In this pattern, we're going to have one of the factors of 10 plus something plus another one plus something. So these two numbers are going to multiply to 10, and these two numbers are going to multiply to negative 14. How can we arrange them so the middle terms add up to 31? And this is where my box guy comes in handy. I like to draw him out. I'm going to put my 10x squared here and my negative 14 here. And now I know, okay, my middle guys, they need to add up to 31x. And now I just go through and I do some trial and error and I figure out, okay, what's going to work and what's not going to work. After much trial and error, I realized there's no way the 1s and 14s are going to help. They're just not going to get me there. So I need to do the 7 and 2s. And then I also realized that the 1 and 10, that makes it way too big. So it has to be 2 and 5 and 7 and 2. But how are the negatives going to help me out? And I'm saving you time by telling you what didn't work, and I'm going to jump you right to what did. Okay. Now looking at this, I know that shooties my goodies, I need to have x times x. So x is going to go here and here. And the question is it 2 and 5 or is it 5 and 2? I'm going to go with 5 up here and 2 down here. Now I also know that here needs to be 2 and 7, but is it going to be negative 2 and positive 7 or positive 2 and negative 7? And the combination that ends up working is putting a negative 2 here and a positive 7 here. Let me show you why that works. Well, if I multiply, I'll go with green. Negative 2 times 2x gives us a negative 4x in here. And then to fill this space, 5x times 7 gives me a 35x. And now when I add up all the area in my circle, square, rectangle, thing, I get 10x squared minus 4x plus 35x minus 14. I don't need this anymore. And what do these two add up to? Oh, those combine to a 31x. So that means this ends up being 10x squared plus 31x minus 14. So what is my final answer? My factors need to be the side lengths of my rectangle. So that gives us a 5x minus 2 and a 2x plus 7. This is a 5x minus 2, by the way. Again, you check your work by multiplying it out and seeing if it equals your trinomial. Okay, so that's one if everything's positive. Here's one if you have a negative in there. And what happens if both numbers are negative? It doesn't matter, it's just the same thing. So let's fly through this one. I know that this, now I'm not even going to list factors at all. We got 2x squared needs to go in here, and that tells me, well, this needs to be a 2x and this needs to be an x, because that's the only way we can multiply to get a 2x squared. And then here, this guy is going to be negative 7. So now our question is, we know we need to have a positive number, so it's either going to be positive 1 or 7, and we need to figure out how we're going to make that add up to negative 13. The combination that ends up working is a positive 1 and a negative 7. Because I see, ooh, negative 13, that's like 7 times 2, which is 14, but just one difference. Crazy. So this gives us a negative 14x plus 1x, which will add up to 2x minus 13x minus 7. So our factors are 2x plus 1 times x minus 7. By the way, the order does not matter. So if you had written this, oh, that's x times 7, sorry, x minus 7 times 2x plus 1. That's fine, all the power to you. Okay, so this whole time, we're just looking for this guy right here. We want to find factor pairs of our first number, factor pairs of 2 or 1 and 2, and that was our only option. And factor pairs of 7 were either -1 and 7 or 7 and -1. That's the same thing. I meant -7 and 1. -1 and 7 didn't work, so I needed to do the other one. And then how can we arrange them so they add up to our middle number? We got one last thing before you go. Oof, you're trying to tell me we need to find pairs of 18 and pairs of 12 that add up to 33? Well, yes, but actually, no. Because we're factoring. And look, these guys all have a factor in common. They're all divisible by 3. So we're going to start out by factoring out a 3 from each of them. Ooh, and 3 is going to end up being our first factor, technically. So that's cool. 18 divided by 3 is a 6. 33 divided by 3 is 11. And 12 divided by 3 is 4. So we have a new trinomial. Our new trinomial is 6x squared minus 11x plus 4. And that's going to be much more doable. So you factor from there. I'm just going to tell you for the sake of time, this ends up working out to 3x minus 4 times 2x minus 1. We got to keep our 3 in mind, and there you go. There's our whole factor list. Ta-da! But what if you forgot about your GCF? What if you didn't notice that you could factor out a 3? That's okay. You are not totally screwed. You can still do this the normal way. Let's list out factors of 18. Let's list out factors of 12. And you would end up figuring out the pair that works is 3x minus 4 times 6x minus 3. But guess what? You can still factor out a GCF from this guy. These guys are still both divisible by 3. So that would be equal to 2x minus 1 times 3. And you still have all the factors that we discovered on our last round, except we like to put the number in front. There it is. Okay, so you can factor out a GCF at the beginning. If you forget, you can factor it out at the end, and no one is hurt. Except maybe your bride. Okay, guys, when you've got trinomials that are ax squared plus bx plus c. Oh, that's a fun design. Ooh. Someone should make a t-shirt out of that or something. You are looking for factor pairs of a that, when multiplied with factor pairs of c, add up to b. Remember to have a great time on your homework.